what's up you guys, the Curious Owl here, and today I have my goals for 2024. So overall, the goals I have for 2024 are more or less similar, I think, to the ones I had in 2023. But I think in more specificity, I have certain things I want to do in terms of like my reading goals that are a little different. I still have like my Goodreads goal I want to reach. Let's just go ahead and kind of like go through some of them. So looking back at my little digital planner I have here, I actually had my reading goal set for 100 books. So I would like to try to read 100 books this year. I do still want to finish The Wheel of Time. That is something that I am really going to try to make a priority this year with finishing that series, because I got to book 6 in 2023 finally, and I really liked it and found that that was bringing back my love for the series. So I would like to try to keep going on that and finish out the series finally. Then if you missed my announcement, I do have a read along going on in 2024, which is going through the Witcher series by Andrzej Sapkowski. So that is another one of my goals, is to complete the Witcher series. Then in terms of like my channel goals, I would really like to try to get to the 700 mark, because I wanted to get there in 2023 but just barely missed it by like 6 subscribers as of today when I'm filming this. So I would really like to be able to get to that point, and then maybe even get to like 750 if that's possible. On TikTok, I have over 200 followers, and I'd like to get that to about 300. And on Instagram, I have, I think, 300 some followers, and I'd like to get that to 400. So, you know, just kind of wanting to build my branding a little bit and building my social medias a little bit more. I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff here in January, and hopefully continuing with that over the course of the year, where I'll be posting a lot more, especially in terms of like my witchy stuff, because I'm also planning on building my business more. One of my goals for my business is I want to be able to put out more products, but that comes with having more orders. And so right now what's happened is there's been a standstill with orders where I haven't really had any purchases of things in the last few weeks. So I don't really have the money to be able to make new things that I can, you know, put out there, because I don't really have the money to buy the tools that I need. And so that's kind of the thing, is like, you can only like build your business more when you have the cash flow that comes in to then build your business. And so that's kind of where I'm stuck at this point. So if you do, you know, at all decide that you want to purchase something from me, whether it's a digital planner page or candle or wax melt or spell jar or anything like that, my link is always in the description. And I also have listed my personal Amazon wish list as well as my business wish list, so that if you do want to support me in other ways and don't want to necessarily purchase my products, you can support me in that way by sending me something that's on my wish list for my business, which would be greatly appreciated. You know, it's never something that I have to like necessarily ask for a lot, but I know that a lot of people would like to support that kind of stuff, so it's there if you would like to use it. Now in my personal life, I have a lot of things that I am hoping I will be able to do, one of which being hopefully getting into this program, which will allow me to get my teaching certificate and special education stuff all taken care of, so I can become a special ed teacher. And essentially that I have to wait to hear about until about mid-January, but if I can get into this program, I will be able to hopefully go through all of that and not have to pay for any of the schooling I need, which will be nice, and then have also, while going through school, a full-time position. So that's one of my big goals, is to get that done, and then by the end of this school year, you know, be able to have a full-time position in hand while being in school, so that I can, you know, get my teaching certificate and still, you know, make a decent paycheck every week. And then I want to try to better my mental health. I've done a lot of growth this past year in particular with my mental health. I have done a lot in terms of therapy with building on my skill sets for coping, and also dealing with a lot of demons and a lot of things that I have not dealt with in years. And this year I think was a huge year of growth in that regard, and I would like to continue with that. But I also think I need to continue on building myself as a person, because I still to this day have some issues of not letting myself do certain things, namely things that I think would be good for me, because I'm kind of like holding myself back in a lot of ways from doing things. And so that's partially why I'm trying to be so gung-ho about putting out content and stuff like that, because I want to push myself to get to where I want to be, because I'm not there and I've been slacking because I don't think that I'm good enough to do it. So I'm really going to push myself to get better at that, and also hopefully get better at being able to write more, because I haven't written in probably over a year. I took a break from writing because I didn't feel like I had any of the stamina to work on anything, and I'm kind of getting in the mood again to get back into it. So I'm gonna try to write more this year, but we'll see. It really just depends on how things are going for me, how I feel like I can manage it with everything else I'm doing. And I'm going to really try to finally finish working on the novel I've been working on since I was a senior in high school, which is now almost 10 years worth of my life that I've been on and off working on this book. And I don't know whether or not I will be able to put it out to people anytime soon, but I would at least like to be able to get to a point where I'm happy with the results and I could start thinking about the process of maybe self-publishing it, if not outright trying to get an agent to sell to a bigger publishing company. I don't know whether or not that is something I would be able to do. Self-publishing would probably be where I would go first, because it's a lot easier to self-publish, and you know, people that are indie publishers anymore are getting way more traction than sometimes the traditionally published people. So I think that it would be in my better interest to self-publish, but that also requires a lot of work that, you know, is needed, but is probably a lot easier since I'll have a lot more control of it than I would if I was to traditionally publish. So that's kind of some of the things I'm thinking of personally that I would really like to be able to do, because they're things that I've been meaning to do for a long time but have been kind of stuck this last year, and I needed to really figure out what I wanted to do with my life to essentially get to this point where I can start feeling like I can pick up these projects again, stuff like that. So yeah, I think that with that is all of the goals I have for now. I think that that is a good kind of way to set up this year, is looking at really like the potentials of things and seeing what kind of happens from here. But let me know what some of your guys' goals are for the year in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys have planned going on this year. I am hoping to, Robert and I are wanting to maybe go on another trip this year where maybe we end up going to Europe for, you know, going somewhere in Europe. It's gonna cost a lot, but you know, it's something that we would like to make a goal for this year as a couple, because we did really enjoy this year going on our trips to both Florida and California this past year together. And so we would really like to be able to hopefully maybe later in the year 2024 going on in a European trip of some kind, which would be really, really fun. But let me know what you guys have got planned, what you guys are thinking of doing, things like that. And hopefully you guys will get those goals made, and I'm hoping that my goals will be made by the end of this next year as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you'd like to be, I would like to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys.